There is no coalition. That's just the long and short of it. There is no coalition. See, we got to stop this pie in the sky stuff. And I'm not trying to denigrate anybody, because you can still be cordial on a personal level. You can, if you got friends who are from different ethnic and racial backgrounds, that's fine. But we better understand when it comes to them operating as a group. The operative word is group. Because, see, we have a buddy who might be Hispanic or a homegirl who might be Asian, and they're real cool people individually. But understand, when they move as a group, when they run around as a group, when they operate as a group, they're competitive to us as a group. They're competitive as a group. Do not be fooled by the individual relationships you have with people. Do not be fooled by that. And right now, the foundational Black American movement is taking hold heavy, because now we're realizing that. And you have other people in the dominant society, people like Cameron and all that, speaking about, hey, man, you know what? I would rather look at myself as a Black American instead of an African American, because truth be told, we don't have the same cultural connection with Africa. And notice people are desperate with trying to force us to identify as an African. Now, racially, we're African people, racially. Ethnically, we are a different group. Ethnically, we're foundational Black Americans. I acknowledge my African racial inherent DNA. When they come over here, they already have too many, but enough. They already have enough vitriol. We got some cool ones. The problem is you got a bunch of them who ain't cool. And at this point, we don't have time to pick and choose and all of this stuff to see who's cool or not. And they look at themselves as different. Y'all can sit and say, y'all African, we disconnected. No. If we go to Africa, even if we move there, we as foundational Black Americans are treated like foreigners. That's the reality. We're treated like foreigners, which we are foreigners. Yeah? We're treated like foreigners. And a lot of these folks, unfortunately, there's a lot of vitriol towards us. They get over here talking about Akata, stay away from the Akata, and don't do this and don't do that with those people. We got to understand something. We've always been the warrior class of Black people globally. The Black Aboriginals who were here and the Black Aboriginals who were in Africa, or the Black people who were in Africa. Remember, family, when they sold the Black people in Africa to the Europeans, they were getting rid of the warrior class. They had to get the warrior class out of Africa. That's where part of our bloodline comes from. You see, Black people in Africa could have gotten the white supremacists out of Africa if everybody was just on code. That was the problem. Everybody wasn't on code. The warrior class, who we come from, we were fighting them. But the coon class over there infiltrated us, captured some of us. And they needed chains and military apparatuses in order to contain us and get us out of there. And they left the collaborator class there. That's why it was easy for them to colonize the collaborator class. When the Europeans said, okay, we got them fighting niggas up out of here. Now, all of you weak collaborating Negroes, we're going to colonize your whole nation now. And we're a minority. That's why they were able to colonize them niggas over there. Let's keep it a buck tonight. That's why they were able to colonize them with less numbers. Because the warrior class was gone. So they went over there with Bibles and sticks and said, okay, you guys are about to speak French now. You're going to speak English now. You're going to speak Portuguese. They colonized them because the warriors were gone. Where am I lying? We were the warrior class. They sent the warrior class here in the Caribbean. That's why the Haitian Revolution popped off like it did. They sent those Angolan warriors to Haiti and the Caribbean. That's why they got their independence. Remember? You were sending the warriors to the Caribbean and some of the warriors here and mixed in with some of the warriors that were Aboriginal here. That's why they had the Maroon colonies set up over here where they would fight back and not be infiltrated. And even the black Aboriginal tribes over here, you had the Yamasee Wars. Those were some black Aboriginal people who were whooping ass. The white supremacists got some of the red native tribes to infiltrate the Yamasees. That's how a lot of the Yamasees got enslaved. It wasn't the white supremacists, it was the coon red natives that infiltrated them. Also, there was a treaty with some of those red natives to infiltrate some of the black Aboriginal tribes. If you saw some of the black Aboriginals, you turned them in. So people that we thought we had some kind of camaraderie with, these were the ones that were taking us down, our so-called allies who we thought were allies. We thought they were going to join us to fight the white supremacists. These Negroes were turning against us. The red tribes were turning against us. You dig? That was the problem. That's why the Great Dismal Swamp Maroons were so thorough, because they didn't allow infiltrators in. That's why they don't talk about it. They let over the riders, the warrior class. So they were very particular about who they let in those swamps. That's why there's only 2 places on the planet Earth that were never infiltrated by the white supremacists in the last 500 years. Only 2 places of black people. That's North Sentinel Island and the Great Dismal Swamp of North Carolina and Virginia. Those are the only 2 places that the white supremacists never infiltrated. Never infiltrated it. That's why they don't like talking about it. They really don't like to talk about that damn swamp openly. The brothers and sisters in the Great Dismal Swamp here in the United States never took an L, and that's never talked about. They study it privately. They set up Blackwater over there in the swamp so they can study that. So they can study. They send Navy SEALs to the swamp so they can study how to survive like the Foundation of Black American Maroons survived in there. They study our patterns now, our survival skills, but they don't talk about it openly. Yeah. Somebody said Ethiopia. Ethiopia, they got colonized economically and infiltrated economically, but the reason why, let's go to Ethiopia, why they didn't get taken over physically, that was because we stepped in. Remember? That was because foundational Black Americans were stepping in to help protect Ethiopia. It was the foundational Black American who went over there to teach them how to fly and do reconnaissance from the air. The foundational Black American brother who went over there, it was foundational Black Americans lining up to go over there to help Ethiopia. It was the black press who was stomping for Ethiopia, brother. So yeah, there's a reason why they didn't get hit up like other parts of Africa, because we were making sure they didn't get that treatment. We said, hey, we want to make sure that Ethiopia is protected. So our warrior spirit was on there. Our brother John Robinson went over there and helped create the first airline over there. We taught them how to fly planes. John Robinson out of Chicago, a foundational Black American, taught them how to fly planes over there. We were helping Ethiopia. You see? We were that warrior class. So that's why they always have to have, this ties back to the buffer groups infiltrating us. The white supremacists, we can get at their ass. We can stop them from doing what they do. They need these buffer classes. That's why them flooding the zone with all of these illegals and these migrants, that's why that's so important. They understand the importance of the damn buffer classes against us. We have to fight through these damn buffer classes so much, we'll be too tired but by the time we get to them. They understand how to use buffer classes, man.